gonna hope that anyone that drops by today didn't notice the stream that happened last week, because that was an absolute disaster. Like, there is no getting around it. That was an absolute crap show, and I apologize for that. Future me is gonna have a bitch of a time editing that. I can already tell. But regardless, I've stripped away every single mod and decided, you know what, it's fine! We don't need special characters like a particular person from Mass Effect, or the main character of Ghost in the Shell to appear as units in this. Or hell, we don't even need bigger icons. Just do it as is. Do it fucking live. Do it right. And I did think about potentially plugging in hardcore to make this even worse. Let's not. Expert is already kind of difficult. I know this because my first playthrough was on Expert, if I remember correctly. And honestly, I'm not confident enough in my skills to even think about trying Impossible quite yet. Still toggling on no healing. Going to be removing the tutorial. Extended City Anarchy. Not putting that on, because that's a crutch. Iron Man. Reduces the amount of times you're allowed to save, essentially. And... I don't feel like that's important, if not, well, anything like that. But, we're here at the main menu because of one specific reason. And that's because of this. By choosing not to take the tutorial, we actually get to choose which units we get to start out with. I figure I should show this off because it's something that not necessarily every person would know about. And I like this. Because there are specific units in this game that I really like, and that are really broken, especially in the later half of the game. Terminal is pretty much a mandatory as one of few, if not the only, healer. Torque, I'll make sure to show off, especially quickly when we get around to using her, because her ability is broken. Okay, her abilities make her one of the best, if not the best, support / non-lethal takedown unit. And as for third unit, I have thought about Zephyr, considering... Sure, she is a melee unit, and melee units have... Well, in this game, Zephyr has a few disadvantages, especially at outset when you're trying to build her. But if you start with her, you can essentially mitigate those and make it easier to deal with in the future. And for the last unit... I've never used Shelter before, I've never used XCOM. So, and that I've heard, Shelter is a decent unit that requires quite a bit of skill to use properly. Whilst XCOM is, well, XCOM. So, I'm thinking about one of them, probably Shelter.
Chimera Squad, heads up. Director's on the line from XCOM HQ.
Chimera Squad, I know you're still settling in, but this cannot wait. A short time ago, insurgents crashed the opening of City 31's Memorial Museum. They took Mayor Nightingale hostage. 3-1 PD attempted a rescue, but the insurgents triggered a plasma bomb. Everyone inside was lost. Yes, 3-1 PD should have requested our help, but dwelling on that is counterproductive. We need to focus on what we do next. A crude plasma bomb killed the mayor. The insurgents had no access to materials for that.
Does that mean they had outside help?
Most likely. There are 3 groups in City 31 with access to this kind of ordnance.
That's also another change. They changed the canon such that if you choose to do the tutorial, then essentially you're playing through the mission to try and save the mayor of the city and actively see her get killed. If you choose not to do the tutorial, then instead you're shifted forward in the timeline a little bit, such that the police, who were originally meant to try and solve the issue before Chimera Squad decided to go all like, hey, we're taking over this mission, and they are the ones that bungle it. And as a result, it kind of reinforces the fact that, yeah, you're effectively the only people who can actually do anything about this. Still staying with the progeny.
Have a small but loyal human membership, all with psionic capability. Victims willingly hand over what the progeny need, then forget the whole thing. The perfect crime.
Director, these are local criminals. Isn't that 3-1 PD's jurisdiction?
True. The Reclamation Agency supports local police, but we're also required to recover dangerous material.
From those who would do the world harm, and each of those groups is neck deep in the stuff. So what next?
Focus on a single group. Investigate, dismantle their operations, and take them down.
Meanwhile, we look for any links to the mayor's death. Either way, a dangerous organization is off the streets.
Exactly. The city wants justice for Mayor Nightingale. This is how we help them achieve it.
And with that, we're off. We start with only 4 party members. By this point in time, we would be able to draft a 5th, but
check it out. Headquarters sent us an assembly.
We
With
can't.
the right patterns, we can build anything.
We
Or
can at
we
least
could
set
with the
something to be
latest version.
built,
What you're looking at is the extremely finicky.
but until we investigate the
Welcome to
progeny
City
initially,
31. During Advent,
we won't get
5
another
years
unit.
after XCOM won the war, there's new against all.
Until tonight.
We don't know that.
So that essentially means, I hope you picked the best party members for the job. Otherwise,
Hostile forces
you're
need
gonna have
leadership
to deal with it.
function. If authorized by the director, you may need to neutralize a hostile leader. Subduing your target is always preferred. Enemy leadership, if captured, provides valuable intel.
You don't exactly have the funds to buy anything or anything to buy, period, and shop, I don't think. So we're just gonna have to make do. Hope for the best. And besides that, I've picked some of the party members that I'm best at using in the first place, so I think we should be fine.
asked to speak with this company's owner about his connections to the progeny. That's when his staff pulled weapons, and the police barely made it out.
3-1 PD is known to retreat at the first sign of danger.
And begin breach mode. So, we've got 3 entrances here. Low visibility, enemies are harder to hit. On the right, same thing. And in the middle, last unit through will receive an extra action point. Useful. I didn't explain this last week in the Absolute Disaster show that occurred, but you can choose the order in which these occur by toggling the arrows here. It won't really matter because we're just going to be loading everyone through the main entrance. So let's see here. Which unit would benefit from an extra action point? Probably Zephyr. So let's plug in Torque, Terminal, Shelter, Zephyr in that order.
Breaching now.
And get to work. We've got 4 surprised units, and are there any immediate kills that we can make? Well, there's one. I hate everything. It's fine. It's fine. Hit the enemy with the largest health. Next action. Target weak. That's 1 kill. And this is also when we get into introducing Zephyr for a moment. Because she doesn't use a gun, her action is Fearless Advance. Literally, she will rush up to a target and deck them in the face. There are a couple caveats with this. 1, since she is using a melee attack, she will be advancing toward the enemy's position, and the position she gets is random. It's one of up to 8 tiles around the unit. This could be both good in the cases when she can get assigned to cover, and bad when the CPU decides to hate your life. Second, fearless advance occurs after the enemy's action. It's not exactly going to get shown off here, because, well, all enemies are surprised. But, in the case that we would have alert or aggressive enemies, they would still get to attack first before Zephyr can. This can lead to some bad situations, especially if she doesn't have any upgrades that would essentially shelter her. Getting to Torque here, Tongue Pull is one of her initial unique abilities. It allows her to tether an ally unit, bring it closer to her within one of the 8 spaces around her, or tether an enemy and optionally grip them. Again, optionally. She doesn't have to grab them, but she can. While she grabs an enemy, they can't move and they take steady damage over time. If the enemy that Torque has grabbed is the last enemy on the map, then she insta-jibs them and we pretend the rest of the map didn't happen. So to that end, rip. And now we get Zephyr's bonus action. Crippling Blow deals increased damage and has a chance to inflict ailments on enemies. If she hits, the attack can't miss, and it triggers momentum, essentially giving her an extra action.
Get out of here!
And enemies insta-jibbed.
I'm definitely picking up a psionic signal. Reminds me of Advent Psionic Network.
We'll find more answers inside.
Alright, breach time. Terminal can hack, so let's plug her there. First unit through gains increased armor per encounter, so chances are I might want to put in Zephyr. As a melee unit, she can benefit most from that. Let's see. Few aggressive enemies, and all units gain increased defense for a round. So yeah, let's plug in everyone else there.
Time to move.
It's go time.
We're hacked. First action. 2 surprised enemies. Let's advance toward that one. Then next up, big shot. Raise. That's not good. Next unit up. Excellent. And 2 enemies down. We've got 2 enemies. So to start with, Zephyr, I'm gonna ask you to subdue.
Hostile subdued.
Then next, let's see, accuracy there is 53. Could be better. So I think I'm going to have Zephyr move up to here. Or terminal, I meant. Ugh. Let's see how much that improves the accuracy by. Not much, but enough. 3 damage, not bad. And Shelter. I do not know what his abilities are. I've never used him. Relocate. Psionically swaps position with the targeted enemy or ally. Doesn't end turn. Useful. So let's have him relocate with that enemy. And take a shot.
Don't know
course.
why I bother.
Looks like you had that.
Back
Yeah, they get
down
to
in
free
the
cover, and they get a flanking shot. With Psionic Slam. Okay then. Psionic Slam it is. Whatever. Torque. Thanks, Torque. So you know what? Crippling blow.
Demolishing. Smash the hostile.
All set there.
You're about to enter some offices. Now the owner must be holed up in there.
And third breach. Delayed disable. Last unit through has their weapon disabled. Or explosive entrance. None of us brought C4. I don't know if we had C4. That might have been something I wanted to check. Oh well. So, in that case, let's have Shelter, Terminal, Zephyr, Torque. Because in Torque's
Let's do
case,
this.
at least it won't matter if her weapon gets disabled, because she can just put squeeze on an enemy. Let's see, 86, 82, and 81. Take the first shot. I'm already hating this character. 2 shots, and we've got a miss and a graze. That... Great. I can already see how disastrous this is gonna be. Terminal. Terminal, you disappoint me. Like, you actually disappoint me. Fine then. Oh my god. Is it because hard mode that I'm getting all these misses?
Down for good.
I mean, it's at least graze damage, but still not
That's
good.
the VIP. Capture if you can.
Okay, cap the VIP. So let's see here. Fire. What's that accuracy? 53? Ugh, that's terrible. I almost want to move you
I have to
inside
move.
there,
Get a move on.
just so you can get a better shot. 59. Holy crap, you are an absolute floozy.
Thought I had that.
Are you sure about that?
Her will is boundless.
Yeah. Well, he targeted my psionic unit, so it's not terrible. Regardless, Terminal, get away from that exploding barrel. Or at least I think it's an exploding barrel. And
You're
let's
clear.
see, the next
Go.
one's move is that unit with 4 HP. And I don't want to shoot the hostage. So let's see if you can't kill that guy. Are you... Great.
I've had worse.
This is why you keep me around.
Terminal. Can you... crippling blow this guy? Good.
Smashing extremity.
Because that's gonna be important. Prevent him from taking his turn, and give her an additional momentum action. When momentum triggers, she can essentially move for free. With one of her upgrades, we can give her a defensive option,
There's never enough ammo.
but at least for right now, that's good enough. Okay. Gotta take care of this. Tongue pull 85%. I'll take those odds. And bind.
Just go to sleep.
that should remove the grip, and we should be fine there. Oh wow, you put yourself in a really bad position, didn't you? Okay, shelter. Subdue our captive.
Oops. Subdue the target.
Thank you. Then next,
Let's
safeguard
get your
Zephyr,
insides back
or
inside.
Zephyr, because she's gonna need the help.
Just a scratch.
And let's see if you can't shoot at that acolyte. I mean, I shouldn't be disappointed that's a graze, but
Enough of that, jackass.
You're stronger than you think.
okay, let's subdue this guy.
Subdued hostile.
Because crippling blow is a lethal action, so if I can cap a unit with it, it counts as a kill. Weird, but hey, it's pretty much explained that her entire body's a weapon, so it makes sense. 20 intel from captured enemies, and 35 credits. And
The
we get a
director
new recruit.
convinced the city council we're too understaffed to be effective. This means we can bring more agents to City 31. It's not the whole squad, not yet, but it's something.
So this time, we've got Verge, who we've already seen, who can essentially drive enemies berserk and inflict a whole bunch of mental ailments on them. Great for crowd control. But if he misses a single action, then he's kind of bugged. We have Blue Blood, a new unit, who can take a ridiculous amount of shots if he's set up correctly. And some of those shots, as you can see with Lancer Shot here, can pierce through shields and other types of things. But individually, most of his attacks are weak, since he uses a pistol. And lastly, XCOM, who we haven't used yet. But I think I want to take Blue Blood, just to set up for later.
Blue Blood, great to see you.
Back at you, Whisper. Settling in?
Not exactly. Until we have a proper field office, we get to sleep in a rail car repair yard.
See? Every job comes with a few perks.
Let me know when we have any.
With that, I'm gonna take a moment to save, because I feel like it's gonna be important. Save over that. And we've got an idle unit. I do want to give Shelter a bit more of a chance before I retire him. So, at least for right now, I think I'll have Blue Blood run
You
some
aren't on mission. You
training.
need to maintain. It's also so don't let those wounds.
And at least for right now, basic conditioning will mitigate one of his bigger issues in that, well, he does tiny chip damage, but it's a lot of chips. He needs health in order to stay around the battlefield for a little bit longer. And other than that,
Our temporary field office has all the basics: weapons, comms, and ammunition. Supply is where we request everything else. As long as it's in the squad's budget, it's ours.
buy a medkit, buy some tracer rounds. I don't know if I have a breaching charge, so I should probably take a look at that quick. Through the armory, me. My medkit should probably go on to Zephyr, just in case, because she's got the most movement ability of all the other units. Okay, I already have a breaching charge, so that's going to have to go to Torque, I guess. Actually, no. Leave it to Shelter, just in case. I've also got Tracer rounds. 65 aim. Yeah, him and Terminal both have, like, the weakest accuracy. But I use Terminal more, is the thing. So, I think I'll give Terminal Tracer rounds. Don't have any additional armor or guns or anything like that, so that'll have to do.
Dozens of hybrids have recently disappeared throughout the city. We suspect progeny involvement. Find out if they're behind this, and if so, how they're doing it.
Alright. Hidden factory target, revealed in 5 days. Our current missions?
Chimera Squad, I'm Commissioner Maloof. To be blunt, I don't give a Chryslet's ass about the politics. 3-1 PD, when your agents can handle a situation better than my officers. If the city council has a problem with that, I look forward to working.
Commissioner Maloof, not even going to say hello?
Blue blood, is it now? Couldn't hack in a 3-1 PD, so you had to fail upward?
You know how it is, Halia. I always pick the easy path.
The department is happy to see one of its own back in town.
Good to be back. We'll do right by you, Commissioner.
Of that, I have no doubt.
I've never seen that conversation before. Well, then again, it's mostly because I've never started with Blue Blood. Like, the only playthrough so far that I've done, I got Blue Blood late. Like, Act 2, Act 3. And even then, late Act 2, early Act 3. He's a bamf of a unit, just saying. Well, when he builds correctly. Until that point, it's gonna be a bit of a struggle. So to that end, our missions. Cutting Edge gives us 30 Illyrium when we complete it. Last Stand for 45 intel. And Stop the Psionic Recruiter. 2 days advance toward the mission reveal and a bit of cash. I think I'm going to need the Illyrium.
Sometimes we need to infiltrate hostile territory. This usually means we're after important contraband. Grab the contraband and get out. Do not stick around.
I could go to the main mission advancement, but I feel like stockpiling materials, especially now in the early game, might be useful. I could be wrong.
That contraband is under heavy guard.
And begin breach mode. That's not a good sign. 5 enemies, some of these are going to be hostile, and entering makes your unit... Oh, marks the units until the end of the round. That's going to be really bad, actually. So let's start with Shelter, Terminal, Zephyr, and Torque takes up the back.
Let's do this.
This is only one breach that I've noticed, so hopefully we should be fine. It depends on how this is going to go. And I immediately see you right there. Die. Because the sooner I can get rid of you, the safer I'll be. Let's see, you're going to do exactly 3 damage. So I almost feel like you should go up to that enemy. And leave you to Torque. Excellent! Boop! Okay, it was saying 3 to 4 damage. Sorry about that. Okay, so if any of our units are marked, then enemies have increased accuracy against them. It's not a good ailment to have. And thinking about it, I might want to relocate with that enemy, just so I can blitz up to the objective and take care of that quick. Although, you do have the next movement. So I think I'm going to rob your location. Then team up to bring Torque up to the front. We only get one team up a map, and for single encounters like this, it's probably for the better that I use it early. Let's see, I can get a shot off on you. 64 accuracy versus 72 on that unit. Sure.
I'm not doing much damage.
I can try cracking it open.
Okay. So, Torque.
You, come here.
Thank you.
Putting the squeeze on.
Provided Torque doesn't get attacked, that's a free kill for her. That leaves you to get your face broken. Oops.
Another collar for the medic.
And next up, Zephyr. Might be a good idea for me to have Zephyr quickly blow this guy. Biff. And he's stunned. And with that, I can also move Zephyr up to the objective. And gimmicking with the objective is a free action. So now we're essentially on escape. Really easy mission. I shouldn't have opened my mouth. Oh boy.
Her path is clear.
So let's see here. Fire weapon. Not really good odds here.
That was a miss.
Oh, good! Laid him out. Thank you. And I'm gonna have to unfortunately release my binds on this.
For now.
Then next... let's see. Unit 3 is you, huh? So, first action. You know what?
Slithering.
Let's have Torque just peace out. Take a shot on a local enemy. See if I can lessen the amount of enemy actions.
Less danger for us.
And evac. Hit and run. So now I've got one enemy to worry about.
At least I can treat my own wound.
That sucks. Okay. I think what I'm gonna do here... I should probably have Terminal evacuate last, honestly. So what I'm gonna do is... get her into full cover. Then take a shot. Hopefully kill you. You gotta be kidding me. Fine then. I could cap an enemy. You're gonna take a while to take your action, so maybe I should probably focus weak.
Splintering. Broke the hostile.
And for momentum action, you can escape. Two enemies,
Her power guides me.
and... yeah, that's bad.
Blood on my jacket? Again?
It'll be fine,
Heading out.
because I can at least have shelter evac. Probably a bad decision, thinking about it, because Terminal's really low on health, and this guy's going to take a shot at her. Miss, miss, miss.
Nice try, jackass.
Terminal, get out. That was a really bad decision in retrospect. I should have teleported with Terminal to get her out of harm's way. It worked in the end. It really shouldn't have. Alright, Illyrium attained. And the assembly mission's done.
The City Council voted 5-4 against a citywide curfew. Councilor Parada spoke for the majority.
There is no need for such extreme measures. Mayor Nightingale's death is a tragedy, but to shut down the city due to fear would reject the very principles by which she lived.
I'm sure you already know your way around the armory, Egypt. But it's also...
I'd like to thank my gremlin for always believing in me.
Congratulations. I realize now there should have been a cake.
The snark on some of these characters. Okay. Terminal gets an upgrade. So now, on a breach action, she can heal the entire party that she's with for 2 HP. Useful. Torque. Gains Toxic Greeting. A breach action specifically unique to her. She spits a round of poison at a target, and that poison will tick away at them for a couple turns. Poison deals 1 damage, if I remember correctly, while the unit has poison, and it also reduces their aim, making it harder for them to hit opponents. Shelter gains Dazzle. Launch a psionic blast that dazzles enemy disorients enemies at the breach point. Useful. Targeted enemy is disoriented for an extra turn. 1 use per mission. Okay then, not bad. And Blue Blood. Yeah, he has to be on a mission. But more importantly, Zephyr gains Parry. Remember how I was saying that Momentum will eventually have a more defensive option? This is that. So if she hits an enemy with Crippling Blow, and gains an additional action, she can then parry and completely mitigate damage from the next attack she suffers. This makes it incredibly easy to play risky with her, provided you know what risks should be taken. Let's see, 33 of Illyrium, or a whole bunch of intel. I'll take the Illyrium. Huzzah.
Spontaneous vigils broke out in honor of Mayor Nightingale, whose recent death still roils City 31. Thousands of citizens wish to pay their respects to our city's first freely elected mayor. Said one attendee,
"She got it, you know? It wasn't about making things better for me and mine. Hybrid, alien, human, she did her best for all of us."
The city council voted unanimously to hold elections within the month. Councilor Parada released the following statement.
Mayor Nightingale once said, "Governance does not need popular approval, but it requires the people's consent."
This is Celio Dash with Channel 37.
Alright, so announcing what I'm doing here. Always take care of the medic. Medic gets some HP for training. As a result, I'm putting Blue Blood on the next mission. Is it a bad idea? Probably. But it's my bad idea. And since we didn't take the advancement mission, we have to stick it out for the next several days. So, advanced stock weapon mod, and intel, or extra padding and intel. Advanced stock.
Hostile forces may attempt to guard a mission-critical device that needs to be stopped. Destroy the device in question when authorized. Keep your distance if you can.
And come to think of it, I gave specific supply to you. I'm gonna need you to take off those tracer rounds, because that's gonna need to go to another unit. Since we're bringing in blue blood, it's probably gonna be shelter. And I'm switching the breaching charge over to blue blood. I don't need to, but I figure it's going to be necessary since he has a special action. Well, since Shelter has a special breach action. And let's get that stock. Because stocks are going to be very useful. They essentially make it so that even if you miss, you're dealing damage.